Hello and welcome to the Tacticool channel. I'm your host as always, Tacticool, working every day to bring you the best gun, gear, knife channel available on YouTube. And in today's video we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Spyderco Resilience. I got this knife, let me see here, it's December, 2 months ago, a little over 2 months ago, as a birthday gift to myself, from myself. Gotta love those birthday gifts from yourself. Those are always the best ones. It always ends up being exactly what you wanted. But anyway, wanted a good large folding knife. In another video you're going to see something happened to my Ontario Spec Plus folder. Don't worry, Ontario made it good, and that'll be in another video. But I was in the market for another large folding knife. And I was like, you know what, I've had Ontario, had a couple other brands. You know, I've never owned a Spyderco knife. Went looking, some of them were pretty expensive. However, this line was not that expensive for the huge value that you're getting. I feel like this knife is just so good and you're getting so much knife for your money that it's ridiculous, and I don't understand how they did it. But anyway, so let's go ahead and talk about the specs of the knife. Whenever it's folded up like this, it is 5 1/4 inches, so it's really huge knife. Like I wear size large mechanics gloves, and it's bigger than my hand. Now, not so big that, you know, it's ridiculous, like the Cold Steel Espada or something like that. But, you know, those knives are nice, but they're just, to me, they're too big. But this is a nice size knife in your hand. Blade length is 4 1/4 inches, and the overall length is 9.37 inches, so almost 9.5 inches. As you can see, it has that modified leaf shape that most Spydercos are sporting. Has this nice thumb ramp that's jimped very nicely. It's not just aesthetic jimping, it's actual functional jimping. Has the classic Spyderco thumb hole. Has a liner lock. It has a little bit of jimping on the liner lock too, and that's nice for getting a grip whenever you want to close the knife, but it's also nice whenever you get up there and you choke up on the knife, because you get a little bit of a grip with your index finger as well. Has these G10 scales, which are, I would say, a medium grip. Medium grip seems about right. My standard for aggressive grip on the G10 handles is probably my Benchmade Triage. Has lanyard hole there. It is a pillar design, and it's milled out on the inside. It has the steel liners, and has a pocket clip that is a 4-position pocket clip, so lefties aren't out in the cold on this one. You can go right-handed, left-handed, tip up, tip down. Came in the tip down right hand configuration, and since I don't use pocket clip, I haven't bothered reconfiguring it. I just haven't taken the time to take it off yet. It hasn't been a huge priority for me. However, the pocket clip is basically what I would call very good for pocket clips. Very, very springy. Has a nice smooth design, and then this is about all the knife that's sticking up once it's pocket clipped in. I almost wish it would have looped over a little bit more so that it carried a little deeper, but that's not so much to where everybody's going to be wondering what you have, and that gives you enough real estate so that you can get a hold of the tip of the top of the knife and pull it out. So let's see here. Speed of deployment is good. Yeah, I messed that one up. Let's go ahead and try this again. Okay, speed of deployment is good. I wouldn't say it was rough, but it would, like, whenever I went to flip it open before it'd go, you know, and I had to basically ride it the whole way through. But now that I got it to work in, flips open nicely, does a good job there. The blade centering, on my example, is a little bit to our left, but not bad at all. Doesn't affect the deployment of the knife at all, and unless it affects the deployment, I don't really care about blade centering. Shaking, it's not going to shake out or anything like that. It has a really strong detent that you can feel. Like, here, let's try to show it. There you go. You see it spring back in. That's the D10 and it's really strong. Let's see here. Weight is 5.4 ounces, so it might be a little hefty by some people's standards. For the size of knife this is, though, I think it's a really good weight. The steel on it is, let's see here if we can get it in frame, is 8CR13 MOV steel. So far I have used and abused this knife, even though it's not super scratched up. Like, I didn't like chop wood with it or something like that, like stupid. I did make a small campfire with it though. Skinned a squirrel with it, did some other things, and have not needed to sharpen it yet. This is still the original edge that it came with from Spyderco, and it is still shaving sharp. It's to me, this is a really good steel so far. No complaints about it. Sliced a lot of cardboard with it, just using it at work. So no complaints. Good steel. Did have a slight rust issue whenever I got it. Not when I got it, but I used it and left it a tad damp, and it was rust resistant, and the rust just wiped pretty much off. But this is, it's a semi-stainless is what I would call it, rather than a full-on stainless steel. So let's go ahead and talk about methodology used for this knife. First and foremost, I would say a large tactical folding knife. So this would be good for anybody that's going overseas. You know, you have your fixed blade and you have your folding knife. This is a nice inexpensive option for that. This is good for sheepdogs. This is good for anybody that's a woodsman and doesn't feel like carrying a fixed blade knife. This is a nice option because it's small, and in my experience was able to do everything I asked for of it. You know, I made a small campfire, skinned an animal, gutted the animal, and all that stuff. Worked out just fine. And I would also say police and law enforcement, that this would also work well. It's got such a long reach on it. Now there are, you know, I say such a long reach. There are knives with plenty more reach than this. That's a folding knife, again, reference cold steel spada, stuff like that. But for me, this is about as big as I'm going to carry without feeling like cartoonish in length. But this is really a huge knife. If I'm carrying this, I'm not carrying my fixed blade knife. This is all I carry. If I'm carrying like my CRKT Ripple or something, I'm carrying my fixed blade with it. But this, I trust all by itself, has not broken down on me, proved me wrong, or done anything that would make me question that it's gonna get me through the day. Let's go ahead and talk about the tip. We didn't cover that when we were looking at the blade. Nice strong tip. It comes down in an arcing fashion, and then here at the tip, see if we can catch it on a camera, it angles down a little bit towards the tip. But this tip is super strong, and that is a nice hefty chunk of steel. The blade thickness is 0.125 or 3 millimeters thick. So it's a nice hefty chunk of steel that's going to get you through what you're doing. So let's go ahead and talk about price and value. Spyderco on their webpage, right now I'm looking at it, are asking $79.95 for this knife. And honestly, if I didn't know that a cheaper price existed, I would say 100% it's worth that price. But if you go online, and typically how I do on Amazon, this knife can be had for around the $40 mark. I think I paid $42 for it whenever I got it, and that was with free shipping. So this is just a phenomenal knife. At $42, you can afford to buy a couple of them, you know, thrash them, and whatnot. But price and value to me is just off the charts. I literally, this is like the first knife in a long time that I didn't have something bad to say about it, but I literally can't come up with one thing as far as this being a knife at this price point that I would or could change about it. This knife to me is just a solid win. It's 10 out of 10. And also That's representative for this whole line, the ambitious, persistence, tenacious, and resilience. I like this knife so much, I actually got the tenacious for a couple different people as gifts, and that tenacious is just as nice as this. It's the next size smaller. So the whole line, I would say, is a 10 out of 10. Has a size to fit your need. But yeah, so that's it. If you guys have any questions about it or anything, make sure to post a comment. That's all I have for you guys today. As always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And that's all I have for you today. Tack out.